Welcome back to the Forensic Detailing channel. This is an update on Project Money Wallet Busting Porsche 996 Aero Kit. So this car's been busting my wallet for the last couple of months since I bought it. It's not been too bad. Now, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. And I've done several walkthrough videos of this car and everything that needed doing. We made some really good progress actually on the interior. Look, sorry, it's a bit dirty in there. Pretty much the dashboard is all done now and de-Alcantara. It had this cheap, it's not even Alcantara in there, you know, that I was moaning about. I've also done the gear knob now, so it's not cocked to the left. And I can't believe how easy that was to do. And I can't believe it was installed wrong like that, cocked to the left. You know, because if you're going to have a short shifter put in, you've obviously got an eye for like quality and you want a different, you really want that gear change to be right. So you put the short shifter in, but it's cocked off to the left. And it just cocked off to the left for years. And it took about 3 minutes to fix it. You just pull this up, you just yank on that, and there's a bolt that runs through there, which is a bit tricky to undo, because it's just a bit tricky to undo. But when you do undo it, you take it out and then you reverse the thing round. You don't take out its pin, and then you just put the bolt back in, and it's done. Sits absolutely smack bang in the centre now. Absolutely smack bang in the centre. Don't worry if you see that off, because that moves. I'll glue that back on, but that's coming off. I've got a new gear knob and gaiter coming, which is going to be awesome. What's left to do? So we've done loads of stuff. What is left to do? Let me just pop. It's getting down to the actually just tiny jobs really, guys. So obviously we've got to do full paint correction on the car, but we do that at the end. There's no point really doing that at the start. I've made that mistake before. It just doesn't make sense to do it now, this time of year. So let's just pop this up. I've got the shield down there, don't worry. A couple of little jobs I've got to do in here is there's a bung in here, like a plastic pipe that channels water, and that pipe is blocked. So instead of unblocking the pipe, it's just been pulled out of its hole, so the water drains through the metal hole. I don't like that. I don't like that. My head says you need to unblock the pipe and then get the pipe back in its correct place, which is easier said than done because it's been pushed down through. So I've got to try and figure that one out, but I will do. There's a tiny little bit of corrosion around the hole, which is probably because water sits there now, because of that modification. So I'm just going to treat that with a little bit of rust cure. It's not like, it's just tiny little bit. I'll show you that some other time. I think I'm going to get some spacers, although it's already got 5mm spacers, maybe 10mm actually, I can't remember. Oh look, probably 5mm. So this car's not supposed to have like a really wide stance on it. The wheels normally are tucked in, you know. I think you could probably go 10, 12mm spacers, I'm not sure. Danny will know. I just don't know about going too far with spacers, because it's not like a stance is lovely, it makes such a big difference, but this isn't like a show car, stance car, it's an all-round drive the hell out of it thing, and I don't know if putting it too wide is going to affect that. But anyway, I have to do a bit of research, but if necessary, we might space it out a bit more. Eventually I will do these wheels, refurb those centre sections. It'd be quite cheap to do if I just take them off and split them down myself, but I think the barrels have bubbling paint on them from lack of maintenance. If so, then you might as well refurb the whole lot. That can be done later on though, can't it? I know when I first bought that caught my eye, the bronze. Obviously it's different. Anything that's non-OEM catches your eye and you think, oh, that needs to be changed, that needs to be changed. If Porsche brought these cars out with bronze as stock and it had silver, I'd get 500 comments telling me that it needed to be bronze. So a little bit of that is just you guys and me, because I was the same when I bought it, just sort of your eyes kind of react to something that's not standard and sort of think it needs to be fixed. I need new wiper blades. it's got cheapo aftermarket blades, and the first thing I noticed when I turned it on is the wiper whacks on that. So whenever it rains and you turn the wiper blades on, it goes tick, 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 drives you absolutely bonkers. So just like I'll get some OEM wiper blades and do those so they don't tap. Again, a 2-minute job. What else? What else? Let's go to my little list of paper here now. Oh, I've just finished the fuel cap. So that had an aftermarket fuel cap. The one from Porsche was very cheap. The hole wasn't there, so I had to drill that hole and then make sure I sealed it so it doesn't rust. You know, put a little bit of paint over that, which is done now. And it didn't come with a clip. And that little clip was not easy to source. I've been waiting for weeks for that. Anyway, it's all done properly. Everything's got to be done properly. I've talked about those drain things. Oh, the next things actually I'm going to do now is these washer jets are all over the place. One of them here is blocked. So what I'm going to do is take it off and probably put it in descaler overnight. And I don't know how you get these things off. Oh, there you go. You pull it. Come on, you swine. There'll be a pipe on the bottom of that. I'll take my time, I'll go and do that properly. And then align it properly with some pins, which can be very difficult to get that alignment right. It takes a little bit of fiddling and fettling. Right now, I'm also going to lower this rear splitter thing down. It's supposed to make it's notorious for rattling, but I think I'm going to put that level now. I do kind of like it with a little bit off, but I think just a traditional level tacho is the way to go. Still got to put the badge on the back once that's done. I'll properly polish up the exhaust when I do that as well at the same time. The other thing that needs doing, sorry about sniffing, I always sniff when I'm in here. It's like quite damp, I don't know what it is. What was the other job? What was the other job? Oh, yeah, this thing here. So the accelerator pedal, it's got a lot of play in it, left and right. So it's fine going forward like that, but if you just wiggle your foot, you feel a lot of play that way. So this is a support bracket that was like 100 quid. Which isn't cheap, is it, for a bit of... It's aluminium, it's very light, whatever that is. It's quite nice, quite well engineered. Well, it's got those little machining marks, but who cares about that? It's hidden away. But... yeah, so it's a Renless part that stops it wobbling. I'm going to install that right now. So 4 jobs I want to sort out today. Unblock, direction, pedal in, and spoiler. So that's an update on the car. The next time I'll give you an update is when that gear knob turns up and I can get the centre console delete in. I'm probably, these Recaro seats do have to go. They do have to go. They're just too, they do my back in. But all this Alcantara stuff in here, in there, around the sides, and on the door handles, well, I might keep that because it's not nice. It's not good stuff, but it's okay, you know. It's not the end of the world. So yeah, who knows? And maybe later on, in a few years, I'd like black Napa leather would be best for those bits, I think. Doing it in black Napa leather, yeah, that'd be the way to go. Okay, so there is an update on the car, guys, on the 996. The 996 Carrera with the aero kit, I think, makes it look nice, and with the what they call the flip-flop slats things, spats, slats. The old, like, it's like the cheese on the cheeseburger. It's just a little extra thing that just widens it out. I kind of quite like it now. I hated it again at first when I first saw it. I was like, what the hell is that? But now it's kind of retro and I think it's kind of quite nice. Let's just wide pan this out. This car on this Olim suspension with the Mod 7 steering wheel, we get a bit of flicker, aren't we, from the lights. I've already tried the frequency change. What was I saying? This car is wicked. It's really good. Let me just spin this around. It's really good. It's so raw. It's so revvy. It's such a nice heavy change. It's such like a precise steering. It's light. The limited slip diff is nice for just like doing some naughty stuff, and you're not fighting the rear end. You know, it slides quite nicely when you're pulling out, so you can have a little bit of fun with it that way if you want to. Brakes are decent. It's got that Porsche softness to it. It's not a hard brake, but it's a nice feel. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all good. It's just such good fun to like tear around in, and it's really, you feel like you can max out the car, and it's like stable. You can just give it the full beans. You know, you can put your foot right down, and like the car's good, and it's really kind of fun. You always hear me moaning about the M4. The M4 is the opposite, just forever holding back, or else you're going to lose traction, and whoa, it's all over the place. It's like Bambi on ice. Yeah, so yeah, very good car actually. I think for me, I'll probably do more content on this subject matter because it's something that interests me, but I don't think you'll get a better car for sub £20,000. I just don't think you will. You know, you get faster car, don't get me wrong. You'll also get cars which are iconic and amazing. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there, you know, older stuff, sub 20 grand, which is also amazing. But this would be in the debate for me of best bang for buck for under 20 grand. And I think it'd be a car that you could probably go and buy and ultimately own for 3 or 4 years, and it won't cost you anything because it will probably go up in value. The downside is when you've got loads of money and you go and buy a 200 grand car, you know, come 3 or 4 years, that car's worth like 80 grand. So you can either lose 120 grand or you can gain a couple of grand. But it's the connection, it's the engagement, it's all the cliches, but the cliches are so true. It's the interface between you and the car, the controls, the brakes, the clutch, the gearbox, the braking, the handling, the sensations, the instrument panels, all the things that you use in the car that make it engaging. And I think as cars get newer, there's more and more electronics involved in that interface. And when that interface loses that mechanical feel and that mechanical connection, and it all becomes digital, becomes electronically, you know, it's electronically, what's the word? Actuated. And even like the displays are all electronic. Forza 2 display dials. Before you know it, you've lost a lot of the ingredients, or the ingredients being used are different. And that creates different overall flavour in the melting pot of BS. True though, I know it sounds like BS, but quite simply, I think the era of around, 20 years ago, car making was at its absolute peak, where the styling of the car was nice. The cars were still small and light. There wasn't as much electronics in there, so it was more about, other things. And I think this 996 looks stunning as well. And I never would have, again, thought that. It was always the one that didn't look good. But I think it looks amazing. I think just think this car is like cool. Even the headlights are cool. Just love this car, the look of it. And when you do realise it ticks all those boxes, and I think, would I want to tick any other boxes in the Porsche, suite of cars? And the answer is, well, if I had unlimited funds, maybe. But I know what I'm going to get. I know what I'm going to get. The 991s and the 992s. 991s are plummeting in price at the moment, and you could now be, well, you could even wait. Something that could be a good car, but again, I just think it'll be too quick. It'll be like the M4, just be too fast for me and too not raw enough. Too much of a car and too big for what I'm looking for. So yeah, this generation is where it's at for me, and that will, yeah, a weird moment where for once in my life, I got someone who needs me. Don't do humour. For once, I'm not actually looking at the next car and like thinking. I'm just looking at this and thinking, I don't need another car. This is it. It's done. We'll see in a year's time. So that's a little update on the project. Red Peril, going great. The paint is going to be a nightmare. I was doing the video for the Soft 99 polishes, just doing some polishing sets for the video. And sorry about the sniff. And the paint, hopefully it's just going to be the bonnet, and I think the wings seem okay. So some of it, for some reason, there's a lot of paint on this bonnet. It's just been painted again. And whereas it probably needed to be stripped back to bare metal rather than just painted. And what we've got is like a mountain of cakey paint that's soft. And I don't know, I've got to do some more playing around, but I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get it that good. Might need, just not sure if it's even worth sanding it all, you know, not sure if it's worth it. So we'll see. That's another thing to come. It won't be the end of the world if I have to paint the bonnet. But generally the paintwork is glossy, so it's going to shine up okay. But there's a lot of hidden swirls in there that you can't see with a camera like this. But, you know, you could see if it was a sunny day. It'd be like, ooh, ooh. Ooh, that ain't good, but you know you get the idea. So yeah, loving the journey. Let me know what you think, if there's anything I should do, anything I've missed. And other than that, I'll see you soon on the Forensics Detailing channel. Bye for now.